It was a cold rainy night and the wind howled outside my small apartment as I sat alone in the dimly lit room, the shadows of the furniture stretching long and dark across the walls. I had been reading an old book I found at a second-hand store, the pages yellowed and brittle with strange symbols and sketches that I could not understand, yet something drew me deeper into its mysterious words. I heard a soft tap at the window. At first I thought it was the rain, but then it came again, a deliberate sharp knock. I froze, my heart pounding in my chest. I slowly turned toward the window, but the curtain barely moved and no one was there. The air felt colder than it should have been, my breath forming little clouds in front of me. I tried to shake it off, telling myself it was just my imagination, when suddenly the lights flickered and went out, leaving me in complete darkness. I reached for my phone to use it as a flashlight, but it slipped from my hand and fell onto the floor with a loud clatter. The sound echoed through the empty room. I heard a whisper, a voice so faint I thought I imagined it, yet it repeated, calling my name softly at first and then louder, my name echoing through the walls. I could feel a presence behind me, my skin crawling. I spun around but nothing was there. The shadows seemed to stretch and twist like living things. I backed toward the door and tried to open it, but it was stuck, as if something heavy was holding it from the other side. Panic rising, I turned back and saw a figure in the corner of the room, dark and shapeless, yet I could feel its eyes on me. It moved slowly, gliding over the floor without making a sound, my mind screaming to run, yet my body frozen in terror. The figure whispered again, your time is near. I stumbled backward, tripping over a chair, and fell to the floor, my heart hammering in my ears. The figure moved closer and I saw that it was not fully human, its shape twisted and wrong, with limbs that bent in impossible ways. It reached toward me, its hand long and skeletal, its fingers curling like smoke around me. I tried to scream but no sound came out. I covered my mouth in terror, the air thick and suffocating around me. The lights flickered back on for a brief second and I saw the figure standing right in front of me, its face blank, yet I knew it was looking at me. I closed my eyes and prayed. When I opened them it was gone. I ran to the window and threw it open, the rain pouring and soaking me. I looked around, the street empty, no one there, yet I could feel the eyes on me still. I shut the window and locked it, but the whispers continued, softer now, almost taunting. I could feel my sanity slipping as the night went on, the clock ticking loudly, the sound pounding in my ears. I could not sleep. The shadows moved even when I blinked, the figure appearing and disappearing at the edge of my vision, every reflective surface showing glimpses of it. I stopped turning on lights, hoping it would go away, but the darkness seemed alive. Every step I took it followed my reflection in mirrors, always just behind me. I could not leave the apartment, the doors would not budge, the phone lines dead, the city silent outside like the world had ended, yet the figure never left the room. Every sound I made, every breath I took, it watched. I could not eat or drink or sleep for hours or maybe days. Time blurred. I heard scratching at the walls, whispers in languages I could not understand, the air heavy and cold yet burning my skin. I began writing notes to myself on scraps of paper, trying to make sense of it, trying to remember I am alive, but even my words looked strange and twisted, the ink crawling across the paper like ants. I tried burning the notes, yet the words remained untouched, as if mocking me. The figure came closer. Each time I looked away I could feel it inside my thoughts, whispering things I could not repeat, every memory tainted by its presence. I questioned my own reflection. Was I even real or just part of it? The nights became longer and the whispers louder. I could not escape the apartment, every exit leading back inside, the rooms rearranging themselves as if alive, the walls pulsating with dark energy. I felt myself changing, becoming something else, the figure teaching me silently, showing me the world beyond the ordinary, revealing horrors I could never unsee, yet I could not stop looking. I tried to scream help, but the sound swallowed by the darkness. Now I sit here writing this on the floor in the flickering candlelight, hoping someone will read these words, hoping someone will understand the terror I have witnessed. The figure is near again. I can feel its breath on my neck, the room growing colder and darker. I hear the whispers louder than ever. Your time is near, it says, and I know it is true. I can no longer run or hide. The shadows will claim me as they have claimed so many before. I write these words as my final warning. Do not read the book I found. Do not listen to the whispers. Do not open the doors at night when the wind howls and the shadows stretch long across the walls, for they will come for you as they have come for me. And when you hear your name called softly in the darkness, do not answer or you will be theirs forever. After the terrifying night I thought I had escaped the shadows and the whispers, yet the next morning when I opened my eyes I was not in my apartment. Instead I found myself in a dark corridor, the walls damp and covered with strange markings that seemed to move. When I looked away the air smelled of smoke and something rotten. I tried to move but my legs felt heavy as if they were made of lead. I called out for help, my voice voice echoing endlessly down the corridor, yet no one answered. I began walking slowly, hoping to find a door or a window to escape the darkness, the floorboards creaking under my weight. I passed several rooms, each more horrifying than the last. Bodies, or perhaps mannequins, in twisted positions staring with blank eyes, the shadows moving around them as if alive. One room had mirrors lining the walls, and in each reflection I saw the figure from the previous night smiling at me, its eyes glowing with red light. I looked away in fear, but when I looked back it was closer, and I could feel it reaching into my mind, showing me images of endless darkness and pain. I ran through the corridor, the whispers now louder, chanting words I could not understand, my heart racing, my lungs burning. I felt a cold hand on my shoulder. I spun around and no one was there, yet the pressure remained. I stumbled into another room and the door slammed shut behind me. I was trapped, the room empty except for an old rocking chair that began moving slowly back and forth on its own. I sat down in terror and tried to calm my breathing when I heard a soft giggle. It was familiar and horrible at the same time. I realized it was the sound I had heard before when the figure first appeared. It came from everywhere at once, surrounding me, pressing into my chest and head. I fell to the floor, covering my ears, yet the sound continued pounding through me. Then suddenly silence. The chair stopped rocking, the room darkened completely, and I could feel the presence behind me. I knew I could not escape this time, the shadows crawling along the walls, stretching toward me. I tried to scream, but no sound came out, my mind spinning in fear. I felt myself being lifted off the floor, pulled backward into a void of black nothingness. I could not see or hear anything except the whispers repeating, "Your time is near, your time is near," over and over again. Then a faint light appeared far away. I moved toward it, hoping it was the end or a way out, yet each step I took the shadows multiplied, blocking my path. Twisting around me, I tripped and fell into the darkness, my body floating weightless, surrounded by voices of people I could not recognize, some screaming, some laughing, some begging for help. I reached out to them, yet my hands passed through them like smoke. I felt a presence stronger than before right in front of me. It whispered secrets I did not want to hear, visions of pain and death, images that burned themselves into my mind. I tried to close my eyes, but the vision stayed. I felt a cold hand grip my heart, squeezing it painfully. I could not breathe, I could not move. Then suddenly a door appeared. It was wooden, old and cracked, with light spilling through the edges. I ran toward it with all my strength, the shadows shrieking and clawing at me, my fingers touching the door. It felt warm yet alive. I pushed and it opened. I fell through into a bright room, sunlight pouring in, yet when I looked around it was not my world. The room was endless, stretching in every direction, the floor made of cracked tiles and the walls lined with strange symbols that pulsed with energy. I realized I was not alone. The figure stood there at the center, watching me patiently. It said, "Welcome back, your journey has only begun." I tried to run, but the floor shifted beneath me, twisting like liquid. I could not escape, the figure moving closer, showing me visions of others who had come before me, lost souls trapped forever in this endless nightmare. I screamed and the sound was swallowed by the light around me. I felt myself dissolving into the floor, into the walls, into the air itself. The figure whispering, "Your fear feeds me, your fear keeps you alive," yet dead at the same time. I struggled to hold on to my sense of self, to my memories, to anything that made me human, yet it pulled me deeper into its world, showing me the horrors beyond life, the darkness beyond death, the emptiness that waits for those who cannot resist. I do not know how long I floated there, minutes, hours, days, I cannot tell. Time is meaningless in this place, yet I remember the voices, the shadows, the figure smiling at me, my body screaming inside, my mind trapped and yet aware. I reached for something, a memory, a thought, a piece of myself. I held on with everything I had, and then a crack appeared in the light, a small opening like a keyhole. I pushed toward it with all my strength, the shadows clawing at me, trying to drag me back. I felt pain burning in my chest. I screamed louder than ever before, and I burst through the crack into darkness once again, falling through nothingness, finally landing on cold hard ground. I opened my eyes to see my room again, sunlight streaming through the window, the familiar furniture in place, yet everything felt wrong. The shadows lingered at the edges of my vision, the whispers faint but still present. I realized I had not escaped, I had only returned to the beginning, the figure still watching, waiting, and I knew one thing for certain, the nightmare had only